you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony that you give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Please state your full legal name for the record.
Adrian Davis.
Please spell your first and last name for the court.
ADRIANDAVIS.
Thank you, sir.
Please have a seat. Mr. Davis, that microphone in front of you will adjust up or down, but does not move back and forth. Okay, you ready to go?
Yes.
Counsel, you may proceed.
Good morning. How old are you?
24.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime?
Objection,
No.
Your Honor, improper bolster.
Do you have a nickname?
Yes.
What is it?
AD.
Okay. First of all, take your hand away from your mouth because these folks have to hear it. Okay? And I need you to speak into the mouth. Do you know someone by the name of Anthony Williams?
Yes.
Do you know what his nickname was?
Sack.
Do you know someone by the name of Christopher Thomas?
Yes.
Do you know what his name is?
Juvy.
Do you know a person by the name of Cortland Henry?
Yes.
And do you know his nickname?
Yes.
What is it? Do you know,
I'm sorry, Adrian.
I'm sorry,
Boy.
Bort, B-O-R-T. Do you know Jamel?
Yes.
Do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Would you point him out for us?
Right there.
This young man right here?
Yes.
Do you know him by another name?
Melly.
Do you know someone by the name of Trevon Glass?
Yes.
Do you know his nickname?
Fetty. Thank.
Do you know someone by the name of Jacoby Mills?
Yes.
And do you know his nickname?
Kobe.
And how about, do you know someone by the name of Dontavius Withers?
Yes.
And do you know his nickname?
Tate.
Let's start off with the first individual I named, Anthony Williams, also known as Sack. How did you meet him?
9th to 10th grade school.
How about Christopher Thomas? How did
Same.
you meet him?
During school.
Bortlen or Cortland Henry?
Met him in elementary.
How about Melly?
6th grade.
Trevon Glass?
Probably during school, 9th to 10th grade.
And his nickname was
Fetty.
Jacoby Mills?
Since elementary.
Okay. And finally, Dontavius Withers.
Down here. For a lot of the.
So you went to school with Williams, Thomas, Henry, Melly, Glass, and Mills. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Everybody's talking. I'm moving. At any time during school, did any of you have any problems with each other?
No, not at all.
Would you label yourself good friends, associates, close friends, or what?
Good friends, close friends, best friends.
Now, did Melly also have another name besides Melly and Jamel?
Yeah.
What was it?
We only called him that those crazy legs.
Crazy Legs.
Yeah.
And why was he called Crazy Legs?
Because he liked to dance.
And that's why he got that nickname.
Yeah.
Was Melly a big kid, normal sized kid when you guys were in school?
Small.
Did there come a time that Melly, and when I'm referring to Melly, I'm referring to this young man, Jamel.
Yes.
Did there come a time that Melly got involved in the music industry,
Yes.
specifically rap music?
Yeah, back then.
Now, you grew up where?
Vero Beach.
And you still live up in that area?
No, sir.
Where do you live?
West Palm.
And by the way, what do you do for a living?
My granddad owns properties, rental properties and stuff, real estate. So we just cut grass, paint, whatever we need to do, keep the properties up.
I want to draw your attention to the year of 2018.
Mhm.
Did there come a time that you came down to Broward County, Miramar, Florida?
Yes.
About when was that?
I don't remember exactly, but I want to say probably like September, July, something.
Okay. And where did you stay?
At Jamel's house.
Who else was living at Jamel's house when you came down in August or September of 2018?
Me, Jacoby, Melly, Sak, Juvy,
Juvy was Christopher Thomas.
yes, Tay, and Cortland.
And was Melly in the rap music business at that time?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Did you all get along together?
Yes.
Were there ever any arguments, fights amongst you guys?
No.
And is that where you met Dontavius Withers?
Yes.
And does he have a nickname?
Tay.
Who was paying the bills at the house?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Melly was.
Let's go to the day of October 25th, and so you have an idea where I am. This incident that we're here on occurred in the early morning hours of October 26th. Okay? And I'm referring to the shootings of Anthony Williams and Christopher Thomas. On October 25th, the morning of, and during the day, what were you doing?
Just chilling at the house, hanging, smoking and drinking.
Who were you smoking and drinking with?
Jacoby, Tay, everybody who usually be at the house.
Okay. Williams,
Yeah.
Thomas,
Yes.
Bortlen Henry,
Yes.
Trevon Glass,
Yes.
Dontavius Withers.
Yes.
And were there plans to go to a recording studio that evening?
Yes.
Did you in fact go to the recording studio?
Yes.
And that was after you all were, for lack of a better term, smoking dope, weed,
Yeah.
correct? And having a few drinks.
Yeah.
What was the drink of choice, out of curiosity?
Hennessy.
Hennessy.
Yeah.
Who all went to the studio?
Me, Jacoby, Melly, Sak, Juvy, Cortland, Trayvon, and Tay.
Okay. Do you all go in the same car?
No.
Okay. Going to the studio, approximately what time did you get there?
I don't remember.
Was it during the day or at night?
At night.
Did you go in the same car, or were there two cars?
We took 2 cars.
What type of cars were they?
A Jeep and a Mitsubishi.
What color was the Mitsubishi?
Red.
Will you tell this jury who got into the red Mitsubishi to go to the studio?
Me, Jacoby, Tay, and Fetty, Trayvon.
Okay. And who got into the Jeep to go to the studio?
Melly, Sak, Juvy, and Bortlen.
Do you know who drove the Mitsubishi to the studio?
Tay,
That would be Davis Withers.
yeah.
Do you know who drove the Jeep to the studio?
I think Bortlen did.
Okay, that would be
Courtney, yeah.
And what was the purpose of going to the studio?
To make music.
Did anyone fall asleep at the studio?
Yes.
Who?
We all did.
That was from the day of smoking weed and having a few drinks.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Did any arguments occur between any of you at the studio?
Not at all.
Did there come a time that you all left the studio?
Yes.
Did you leave the studio earlier than what was scheduled?
Yeah, I believe so. So we were all in there asleep.
Will you tell the jury who got into the red Mitsubishi?
Me, Jacoby, Trayvon, and Tate, Dontravius.
You know who got into the Jeep?
Cortland, Jamel, Sak, and Judy.
Where were you going? Did anyone fall asleep in your car?
Yeah, we about all did except for the driver.
Did there come a time that you were woken up before you got to the house?
Yes.
What happened?
We pulled over, and that's when Melly got in the car with us.
Do you know where you pulled over?
And I don't really remember.
Were you woken up?
Yeah, but
Why?
it was like, because I was getting pushed over a little bit.
And are you 100% sure that this young man got into the red Mitsubishi?
Yes.
What happened to the Jeep?
I think they just kept going.
Where'd you go? Did he have to unlock the door?
Yes.
Do you know who has the keys to Melly's house on October 26th in the early morning hours?
Jamel and Bortlen. They the only one who had keys to the house.
Did you have a key to the house?
No.
Did Williams have a key to the house?
No.
Did Christopher Thomas have a key to the house?
No.
Did Trevon Glass have a key to the house?
No.
Did Jacoby Mills have a key to the house?
No.
And how about Dontavius Williams? Did he have a key?
No.
Okay. So the only two people you know who had a key to the house was this young man
Yes.
and Cortland Henry.
Yes.
Did you see this young man unlock the door of the house?
Yes.
Who was the last person to get out of the red Mitsubishi to go inside the house?
Trayvon, he was in the hospital asleep.
He was in the car asleep when you got to his house?
Yeah.
Did you see where Melly went?
To his room.
And where was his bedroom?
When you first walked in the house, it can't miss it. It's right down the left.
Okay. This is a 1 or 2 story house.
2.
Where did you go? Where did Dontavius Withers go? Where? I'll break it up.
Thank you.
Do you know where Dontavius Withers went?
To his room upstairs.
Do you know where Trevon Glass went?
To the room upstairs.
Do you know where Jacoby Mills went?
He slept on me.
So the three of you, the four of you went upstairs,
Yeah.
correct? And this young man went into his bedroom.
Yes.
Same. Rephrase.
How many people went upstairs to go to sleep?
3.
And you?
Yeah.
That would be,
Me, Jacoby, Melly. Well, no, Melly was downstairs in his room. Me, Jacoby, Fetty, and Tay. So 4 of us.
okay. And Melly went to his bedroom.
Yes.
Did there come a time in the early morning hours that you were woken up and heard some distressing news?
Yes.
What did you hear?
That second Juvy was shot.
When you heard that, did you see Melly in the house?
Yes.
Did you see Melly how he was dressed in the house?
Yes.
What was he wearing?
Shorts and a t-shirt, I think.
Okay. Upon hearing that Sack and Juvy, and I really should use the correct names, Anthony Williams and Christopher Thomas, were shot, what did you guys do?
We were already dressed and stuff, so we just left with Fredo's house.
Was anybody upset or crying?
Yeah, we all were crying.
Was this young man crying?
Yes.
Are you sure of that?
Positive.
And where'd you go?
Fredo's house.
That would be Fredo Bang.
Yeah.
Do you know Fredo Bang's real name?
No.
Frederick Gibbons, by any chance?
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
Did there come a time after you got to the house of Fredo Bang that Cortland Henry showed up?
Yes.
Did Cortland Henry tell you all what happened?
Yeah, he said it was a drive-by.
Same.
When Cortland Henry arrived at Fredo Bang's house, was Melly there?
Yes.
Did you eventually leave that house?
Yes.
Approximately what time did you leave that house?
I really don't remember.
Where'd you go?
Back to Jamel's house.
Who went with you?
Me, Trayvon, Jacoby, and Fetty.
By the way, when you first learned that Anthony Williams and Christopher Thomas were shot at the house with Melly, did anyone get on the phone?
Yeah.
Did anyone have any problem locating their phone?
Yes.
Who was that?
Jamel.
You, when I backed up for a minute, you were telling the jury that you went back to Melly's house.
Mm-hmm.
You got to answer yes or no. She
Oh,
can't
yes.
She can't shake down, shaking your head. How'd you get in?
The door was unlocked.
Were Were you aware whether or not Melly had a contractual agreement to do a video shoot that day?
Yeah, it was something like that. I know he probably would have lost a lot of money if he didn't go to the music video. He was upset.
Was Melly crying at Frito Bank's house?
Yes.
Were you crying?
Yes.
Because you all grew up together.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, did you in fact tell this what happened on October 25th and 26th to this particular prosecutor?
Yes.
Were any of us, any of the lawyers present?
Objection, relevance.
The same.
Did you tell the prosecutor when you spoke to the prosecutor? Were you under oath,
Yes.
sworn to tell the truth?
Yes.
Objection, proper bolstering.
Sustained.
Are you 100% sure
Objection, asked and answered.
that Melly got into the red Mitsubishi to go home?
Yes.
Are you 100% sure that this young man learned of the shooting of his friends at the exact same time you learned of it?
Yes.
And that was at the house.
Yes.
Are you 100% sure that when people were getting on the phone, that this young man was looking for his phone to call people?
Yes.
May I have one moment, please?
Yes, sir.
I have no further questions.
Counsel, is there any cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're ready to make proceed?
Thank you. Mr. Davis, you said you're 100% sure that Mr. Dennis found out at the same time you did.
Yes.
No questions about that.
No.
You're sure he was at that house?
Yes.
And you were upstairs?
Yes, ma'am.
He was downstairs.
Yes.
But you're sure he was there, you could see him.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
And you are 100% sure his phone was missing?
Yes.
Where in this statement on May 5th did you ever say that?
Objection.
This objection.
It was never asked.
Thank you. Counsel, so I guess the objection is improper impeachment, so rephrase your question. I sustain the
So,
objection.
you met with me on May 5th, 2022, you remember that?
Yes.
And you remember sitting down, you were present? That's a yes?
Yes.
Your two attorneys were present that you brought? That's a yes?
Yes.
And I asked you questions for quite a number of hours. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember being asked if you had met with anyone else with regards to this case?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember being asked if you had met prior to speaking with me with the attorney sitting over to my left?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know who they were, and my lawyers told you that.
Okay.
I didn't know their names.
But you remember meeting with them?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you remember asking and being asked a question about what you talked about with them?
Yes.
Did you remember what you told them?
No.
Do you remember what you told them now?
Yes.
So are you telling this jury that when you were speaking with me, you forgot?
As in, what I'm telling them now, as of right now, yes.
So on the phone on that, Do you remember if Mr. Devins had a passcode on his cell phone back then?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? And in terms of, would you be surprised to find that there was one on that cell phone?
No,
Did you know the passcode?
I don't think so. I don't even remember if he had one. We all use this phone sometimes. We all use each other's phones.
So you would use his cell phone? Why?
Talk to females.
Do you pretend to be him to get women? Because you couldn't get them on your own?
Objection.
Why would you use his phone then?
Let me rule before you ask the next question, all right? It's overruled. Go ahead, answer your question. Ask the next question.
So, with regards to your living situation there, you were not paying any rent, right?
Oh, no.
And nobody was paying any rent in that house except for the defendant.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So, do you remember that evening driving to the studio?
Yes.
Do you remember who was in which car?
On the way there, yes.
And you remember who was on each car on the way back?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any threats that were made to anyone that night?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone have any other conversations or discussions about threats from outside parties?
No, ma'am.
Is anyone worried about their safety?
No, ma'am. But Melly's a rapper, you know, he's always going to be a target.
I'm sorry.
I said he's a rapper, so he's always going to be a target.
Okay. And do you remember stopping on the side of the road?
Yes.
Where did you stop?
I don't remember. It's like flashes and blinks, drinking and smoking, so I just know we stopped.
You know you stopped.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you remember if that was on a highway?
Not at all.
Okay. Do you remember if it was on a divided 4-lane road?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember if you guys were using GPS to get home?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you remember if you knew the route home?
No.
Okay. Do you remember what phone number you had back then?
No, ma'am.
You don't remember your phone number?
5 years ago, so.
Okay. Do you remember if you were awake or asleep?
I just told you. We were asleep.
You were asleep.
Yeah.
And you said you were intoxicated?
You need to answer out loud.
Yes.
Do you know why the car stopped?
No.
Do you have any conversations or messages with the defendant?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have a phone call with him?
No, ma'am.
When you stopped, was the gray Jeep in front of the red Mitsubishi?
Yeah, I believe so.
Have you ever answered that question differently?
I don't think so.
If I were to show you your statement from May 5th, 2022, would that help you in answering if you'd ever said something different than what you just testified in court?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, approaching with page 33 of the statement, counsel. And if you just read silently to yourself.
One line?
Lines 18 through 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
I basically told you I don't remember.
Okay, so now your answer is I don't remember if the
Yeah.
Jeep was in front or the Mitsubishi was in front.
If you watch the video, they pulled off first, so I just knew it was in front of us.
Oh, so you watched the video.
You showed it to me.
In terms of the trial, have you been watching that online?
No, ma'am.
Okay. In terms of when you got home, you mentioned that you said Mr. Demons went to his room.
Yes.
Have you ever answered that question differently?
No.
Okay. On May 5th, 2022, remember that statement?
Mm-hmm.
At that point, did you say, I don't know where he went? I assume his room.
I don't know.
You don't know. But looking at your statement, help refresh your recollection on that?
Yes.
Okay, page 34, lines 12 and 13, counsel.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you previously give a different statement that you didn't know where he went and you were assuming he went to his room?
Yeah. He went into the room.
So with regards to the car, you're saying that you got pushed over when somebody got in the car?
Yeah.
Okay. And with regards to being pushed over, did you wake up when that happened?
Like it was flashes. Like yeah, I guess you could say I woke up.
Okay. And did they move you over or climb over you?
I don't remember.
Have you ever made a statement that's different than that?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay. Again, page 33. Question was asked: did they climb over to get you to the middle over you to get to the middle of the back seat? Your answer was, I think I was at the window, so no. I think they might have climbed over.
Okay.
So is it your testimony that somebody climbed over you, or you pushed over,
I mean,
or that you don't remember?
yeah, I don't really remember.
You don't really remember.
Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of the phone, right? Did you see anyone get into that gray Jeep?
No.
You remember going to Frito Bank's house?
Yes.
Okay. And you remember seeing the defendant there? Is that a yes?
Yeah, he was there with us.
And you remember leaving there afterwards?
Yes.
And you remember going back to the defendant's house?
Yes.
Okay. And you remember at that point that when you went back to the defendant's house, it was you, Travion Glass, or Fetty, and Jacoby Moss. That's it?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. And you said that you were in and out of sleep and intoxicated.
Yes.
And in terms of you remember that Travion was the last person to get out of the car?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
You believe so, or you remember? Which is it?
Yes.
And you know, and you mentioned about Mr. Demmons looking for his phone, right?
Yes.
So of course he used your phone to call it and try and find it, right?
I don't remember.
You don't remember how he was trying to find his phone?
Just in the house looking for it, just like you would do if you lost yours.
So he didn't, try and do Find My iPhone or anything like that. Of course he used yours to do that, right?
I don't remember.
Of course he used something like, an Apple iWatch and set it up.
Objection, there's no testimony that he had
I
it.
don't
Like
remember.
that.
Excuse me.
Okay.
One at a time. You asked the question. Objection noted. Overruled.
So of course he did all that. He went on Find My iPhone and he's looking for it.
I don't know. I don't remember.
You don't remember. Okay. And of course he is using everybody else's phone to try and find it.
I don't know.
You don't remember. Okay. But conveniently the phone's missing that morning.
Objection to the form.
Abstain.
Yes.
I sustain the objection.
So with regards to your conversation, you had texted back and forth with the defendant prior to this event occurring, right?
Yes.
And he had sent you a picture of his driver's license from that phone number.
Yes.
Oh. So you knew Mr. Demmons, the defendant Melly, to use that cell phone 772-713-9807.
I don't know what the numbers is.
You had him saved in your phone, right?
Yeah, but I can't just remember a phone number like that from that long ago.
Oh. And your testimony is that he's looking all over the house.
Yeah.
So in terms of the phone, did you see it again that day?
I don't remember.
Don't remember. Okay. And in terms of the phone traveling up to the video shoot up in Cocoa, you don't know how the phone would have gotten up there.
I don't know.
And you didn't shoot Mr. Williams or Mr. Thomas, right?
No.
But you know who we're talking about, right?
Chris and Anthony.
Yes. And in terms of the messages and things for Mr. Henry, you're aware that his phone was broken at that time, right?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
In terms of Mr. Dean's, you know he was dating Mariah Hamilton.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know that Mr. Dean's would FaceTime her on a regular basis.
Objection.
What's the objection?
There's no evidence of that.
I don't know.
Overruled.
So you know, and Mr. Demons would,
Excuse me, use the correct name.
Mr. Demons, my apologies. Mr. Demons would FaceTime and video chat frequently.
Yes, that's what you got a phone for.
And Mr. Davis, you never met with Detective Mark Money? You never gave a statement?
No, ma'am.
And so the first time that you ever said anything about the phone being missing was today, July 18, 2023?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Nothing further yet.
Few questions.
Is there any regret? Go ahead, sir.
Detective Moretti never even talked to you during this investigation, did he?
No, sir.
And the bottom line is, at the time you learned that Christopher and Anthony were shot, Sak and Juvy were shot, this man was at his house, correct?
Yes, sir.
And did you tell that to the state?
Yes.
And were they the first ones who contacted you about this case?
Yes.
Thank you.
Is this witness excused?
Yes.
Sir, thank you very much. You may step down. You're excused. Counsel?
We would, at this time, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need a few minutes with the attorneys. Do not discuss the case. Don't form any opinion about the case. Don't allow anyone to discuss the case in your presence. Certainly no research. All right? Just leave your notepads on your chairs. Thank you.